It's the 15th of June 2020 at 2:15 in the afternoon. New look. I've had a little move around, thanks to a friend of mine, Lita, coming down at the weekend to help me out with rubbish and things like that. See, I need someone to bounce off to get these ideas. I've moved the sofa all the way back. She'd managed to help me clear the bike and all the bits. I've got to pull those away in a moment. So I've pushed the sofa all the way back. The cat tree is now beside me. That's Caspi on top. The others aren't in it, but Merlin sleeps down here in the other box. And bizarrely enough, so was Tab. So at one stage, all three were in the cat tree, which is an improvement on my record. I've contacted the pharmacy after the farce of the weekend. I mean, thanks to the people on the Hymes Park forum, they went out and picked it up, but it was pointless in the end anyway. I had to sort out my own tablets for Saturday and Sunday with Lita's help. And the Dosset boxes came opened and the tablets were spilled everywhere. Anxiety, panic attack. Phoned up the pharmacy, got through to a locum. They had a word with the staff that they were on Saturday. Apparently the pharmacy were having problems with the phones on Saturday. I'm sure they were having problems with the phones on Saturday when I called last time on Saturday. Strange that, isn't it? Not saying that they're lying, but I don't believe them. Anyway, within an hour, maybe even 40 minutes, the pharmacy got the Dosset boxes ready, brought the van round and delivered me the new set of Dosset boxes, so I'm all right. I need to check that as well. Hold on. No, I'm fine. I thought I'd thrown the old medication away. I just need to make sure I've got my phenobarbital. Right, go again. So that's all done. I've spent 2 hours this morning coaching Windows Update to do the 2004 update, or 2004, it's the April. Well, it's weird, it's April 2020, which is 2004, but it's called the May update. But as it's in June, I thought I'd force it through because it hasn't gone through yet. And it went through without much of a problem. Because I've got it due booting, I have to keep an eye on it so I can get back into Windows again. What else? Might have a bit of caffeine. Had my Iceland delivered on Saturday, so I've got lots of food. Just the odd bits of toiletries that you can't get in Iceland, but I can get that off Amazon, well, and eBay, I suppose. So I'm managing without going out to get most of the stuff now. The first part of lockdown was a sod, it really was. Anyway, what else has happened? Oh, I've done Windows Update. I've created a new template letter because I'm going to need to do standard letters for bits like mental health support, things like that. And I thought I'd start a campaign up. I'm still thinking about how to achieve this. But I'm going to call it the Mental Health Matters, the MHM campaign, based off the Black Lives Matters. Nice and simple and punching to the point. I thought that Black Lives Matter was an actual good campaign. Whoever designed it or started it, excellent job they done. It is about time that something got done about, I wouldn't call it racism as such, but general discrimination. Not just against black or Asians or minority ethnic, but also against people with mental health needs. It all needs to be taken and taught. Legislation is actually biased in favour of discrimination, strangely enough, because, for example, the mental health discrimination, you can't get this enforced by the police. You have to get a solicitor. Now, for civil matters relating to public bodies, it shouldn't be a matter of getting a solicitor. There should be an overarching executive that says, yes, they've breached it, no, they haven't breached it, and, takes the matter on for you. You shouldn't have to, because I've got mental health needs, I've got autism, I've got anxiety, but I've spent weeks now, and it takes me a lot longer than normal able-bodied people. I've spent weeks finding the solicitor. I've got 5 pages of forms to fill out, and that's going to take me days, because I need to do a little section each day. I need to cover each section up and try and go slowly through each section, like paragraph by paragraph, to make sure, because what I normally do, and I've tried getting help for all this, but there is no one available. The local council, Waltham Forest Council, fantastic people, the Navigator Hub, funding was withdrawn back in February for the Navigator Hub, so they had to close just before the lockdown, almost as though Waltham Forest knew it was coming. Strange that. Citizen advice aren't doing form filling at the moment because it's close personal contact. So people like me have to struggle trying to do things that other people would do in half an hour to an hour, to do it over several days, which isn't really practical when there's time limits involved. But thankfully, thanks to my emails I've been sending recently, I've been making sure that the time limit can be extended, because Waltham Forest have been... Well, I've been emailing them regarding the Mental Health and Equalities Act, and they're not exactly forthcoming. And I do believe, like I keep saying, I do believe that Waltham Forest Council have put me on the vexatious list, and they're not doing it correctly because they haven't told me and they haven't given me reasons why. But they did send a nice email back on Friday saying that might be one of the reasons we're not contacting you, Mr. Gibbons. I tested it over the weekend with the Chief Exec's mailbox, and it is only if you send it to the Chief Executive. If you send it to him by name, it doesn't generate the automatic message. So I send it to him by name. And yet, one of them seemed to generate an automatic message, which seems a bit weird because I've been sending it to my Neeson all the time. Funny that, isn't it? Anyway, I've got both in my address book, but I've deleted the generic Chief Executive account, so it can only go to Martin Eason unless they forward it to the Chief Executive account. There are ways of doing it. You do a blind copy and mail it yourself and blah blah blah, and bang, it comes out to me. What else? I've created the template now, which I think looks quite good. It took about an hour, and it's only based on one of the Microsoft templates, but it looks alright. So the next bit on the list is doing a response to my neighbour for a subject access request, which she's not going to like at all, because I've told her I'm going to need to charge, which I am, because I'm having to print this off-site and get it posted off-site, so that's a fee info for me. So I've said it's at least £10, but it may be more, depending on what information she wants, and if she's got to give me the passport and photo ID first. That's not going to happen. So that SAR will be closed down. Someone's getting cake delivered. Cake? I've got cake in there. Anyway, so I'm going to do that next. I'm supposed to be getting a visit from Alfred. Something to do with the mental health team. I'm not too sure. I've talked to so many people regarding my mental health. It's only the mental health team that actually called me back. Strange that, isn't it? Well, having said that, Thursday I spoke to, or was it Friday? I can't remember. One of the days near the end of the week. Spoke to Alfred, and he said he was going to visit me today. It would have to be a Monday because he only works Monday or something. He only does visits on Monday. I don't know. It was something specific about today. Now remember, it's 2:25 now. He's supposed to be calling me to arrange a visit today. So he'll call me on his way, sort of thing. Well, most of the council shuts down in about an hour, 3:30. And I'm sure they don't do visits after 4. So unless he calls me from outside, it's not going to be much of a long visit if he does come round today. This is what I mean. I keep getting let down all the time. It's... Oh, note to self, need to check security on the YouTube videos, because I think some people have been saying they can't actually see some of them. So I think I've set some to private or subscribers only or something like that. I need to check whether it's restricted like that. I've been marking them all as public and just waiting for people to subscribe. I had another subscriber last week. I'm up to 18 at the moment. It'd be nice if I could get a few more. There's been quite a few people watching this. And if you really, I really want, not people concerned with my case directly, but anyone that's got mental health issues or autism. Because it's not, I don't see it as the same thing. Autism is like a wiring type of your brain. So neurotypicals are wired one way, autistic people are wired another way. We do the same thing differently. I always describe it as the difference between a Windows PC and a Mac. They're both computers. They both can print a letter or send an email. They just do it differently. I'm not saying which one I think is the autistic friendly one and which isn't, because I've never really used Macs very much. Not in anger. It's always been on my target to get a cheap second-hand MacBook. Just play about with it. And to try the iMovie thing. Everyone praises iMovie. I don't really like Apple stuff, to tell you the truth. I like the design and the ethos of making it user-friendly. It's always been user-friendly. And they've tried to make everything as logical and as simple as possible. But sometimes I think they've oversimplified things. Not sure, but I think it's like on an iPhone. Whenever I help someone with an iPhone, I get frustrated that the home button is just a home button or Siri. It doesn't go back. Why can't they make it so that you press it and you can go back? You have to look for the top left-hand corner and see if the software's implemented a back button. Otherwise, you have to come back out and go back in. Or even close the app down totally to go back in if it's really badly written. That's just like the user-friendly bit I'd like. It's all right putting it on hold in the background, but sometimes you just want to go back a page, like in the browser. If you do a search and then you go forward and you go forward, and you just think, oh, I didn't want this page, I wanted to go back to the list and then go to another page. You have to press the back button in the top left-hand corner, I think it is, and then scroll down and click on something. When it's easier, I think, if it's all on the one button. So you can tap it once to go back, or hold it down for Siri, or even swipe it. I'm not sure if you can do that with iPhones. I've never really used them that much. But just to make the interface more like other phone manufacturers. It's all right going out and doing things yourself, but is it really better? Anyway, where was I going up to? So I'm doing the subject access request for my neighbour. I've basically taken the wording out of an email from Waltham Forest Council and I sent them a similar thing. So I'll send that out tomorrow. Because it's 16th now, I might do it tonight so it gets printed tomorrow and sent, and she'll get it for the 18th, which is within reasonable. if she's serious about this, I'm expecting a letter shortly, because she said I had to the 8th, where it's been 10 days, well, 8 days since then. And I've heard nothing, and she posts it, so I got it the next day. So if she's serious about this, she should have sent me something already. Anyway, what else? Tidied up over the weekend, already said that. Got a lot more room in the living room. I've got a smaller coffee table coming, nest of tables, so I can create more room. It feels airy and light already in here, so that will help. I've got a desk coming to set my laptop and monitor up permanently. I finished doing my clock soldering project. I need to resolder the LEDs because I don't think they've taken too well, because some of the LEDs aren't working. But I think I might start with desoldering all the LEDs, because it's only 4 modules, so I'll desolder all that and then check the soldering, because it's a double-sided board and it's a pain. So I'm going to check the soldering on the other side, which is why I need to desolder the LEDs. And then once I'm satisfied all the joints are good, then I'll resolder all the LEDs and see if I can get it working. It works, but just some of the LEDs aren't lighting in the segments. And it is only LEDs, it's proper LEDs with light pipes. It was as seen on Big Clive. It is the same one that Big Clive did online, did on his channel. I didn't realise it was the same one. I just wanted a kit that I could do to practice on. And it did help. The soldering was pretty crap to begin with, but as I did more and more, basically you have to heat the pad and then tap the solder to the pad, and it melts and goes around the pad. And it forms a nice joint then. I'm just going to try it late this afternoon with a conical, a needle nose tip, to see, because there's some fine joints on it. So I'm going to see if the big pointy tip gets to the pad better, because at the moment I've got a conical cross-section tip and I'm not sure. I think that might be too big, so I'll try that and hopefully I can get that up and running tonight. Because what I really want to do is put it in the living room, in the bedroom, and I'll put it above the TV, because there's a power supply there anyway. And then I'll need to find a battery to put the battery back up on. But if I can get the thing working, I'll put the battery in, set it up, peel the case, and it'll be finished. I'll show you as well. What else is there? I don't think there's anything else. Oh, the coffee table, the nest of tables is coming. Desk for the corner. I'm going to wait until I get the desk to get a lamp for it, because I want to see what type of build. If I put the laptop and that on the desk and there's enough room, I'll get a standard desk lamp. Otherwise I'll get an LED clamp that clamps onto the back of the desk and you could gooseneck. I've seen one of those, so I'll see. I mean, there's plenty of light in this room anyway, so I don't need a lamp as such right now. But at certain times you do, because if I'm trying to read something, I need a lot of light on it so I can see it. It's too dim, it's not easy to read. But if it's well lit, then it's easier for me to read. What else? I think that's about it. See, another short one today. But at least the weekend was better. Today started good because I got my drugs. What am I expecting? I might send Karen an email later to let her know what the latest is. Because I think the council are treating me as vexatious. They just need to write to me and tell me. Let's be honest. I mean, we're treating you vexatious because you're autistic sod, and we don't want you to talk to us all the time. Well, I'm only emailing them all the time because they don't reply to my emails. Oh, deja vu though. Strange that. And they give me this single point of contact who isn't keeping in contact. Thankfully. I don't want a single point of contact. That's restricting my rights. And it's also infringing my human rights and my rights protected under the Equalities Act, etc., etc., etc. No, talking of mental health, yes, this campaign I want to start about. Right, let me have a drink first. Yes, this campaign. I need your help on this. I need advice on how to start and push forward this campaign. Basically, the first part of the campaign, Mental Health Matters, is to get private caller IDs removed from public bodies, government, local government, government departments, etc., etc. They should all be advertising a number, even if it's not the number. It should be advertising something so that people can see it as the health service or DWP or your GP, etc., etc., etc. GPs are funny, especially after all the changes in the last 15 years, because I think they're publicly funded but seen as private bodies. But anything receiving public money, in my book, and this goes for the BBC, anything receiving public money should be publicly accountable and publicly notifiable. So no private numbers, no anonymous communication of any means, and there should be more training for mental health, not just autism, but people with anxiety and emotional support. I mean, even loneliness, especially after the lockdown, loneliness is a mental health issue. It can trigger all sorts of problems. So, give me advice. If anyone out there has actually started a campaign or run a campaign and been able to progress things quite well, please help. Because this has been going on we've had the Equalities Act in this country since 2010, and it's not working. Because there is no enforcement of it. You have to find a solicitor, etc., etc., etc. If you're working, you probably haven't got time to go through all the solicitor stuff. If you're not working, you probably can't afford a solicitor. So it's like painting yellow lines on the floor and not having anyone to enforce it. What is the point? It's like having an Act of Parliament that says this is going to be ignored in the first line, or this is not going to be enforced. Unless it's a criminal matter and the Crown take it up, and it isn't, then you have to take it up on your own merit. And I think that's wrong. I think CPS should deal with civil and criminal matters, not just criminal. I don't think civil matters should be dealt with by the police, but I do think someone needs to be like the CAB does for advice. There should be someone that government funded where you can take your complaint to, and they'll instruct solicitors, so you don't have to do all that chasing and running around. They're all getting solicitors involved. I really think there needs to be something like that in this country to make councils and public bodies more accountable, so that people have their rights fulfilled. If there was a public body like that, it would be inundated with work. So it's not like there's not enough work out there, because there are an awful lot of people, government bodies, ignoring mental health and protected rights under the Equalities Act. And it's not good. I mean, since they changed legal aid funding about 15-20 years ago, then local authorities have been able to do whatever they want, because Before, you could get legal aid for taking the council to court. Now you can't very easily, unless it's on certain grounds, and thankfully I'm on one of those protected grounds, infringement of the Equalities Act. If we can get this campaign going, I'm going to try and draft a letter putting this in a form, and I'll try to upload it to the campaign video. I'll start a separate playlist for the campaign on this channel, and I'll put my templates up there based on the EASS Equalities and the Equalities Advisory Service templates they sent me. I'll create a template letter generic about caller ID. I've already got my local PCT involved. They're investigating this, whether it's feasible and doable. Because I don't want to hear well, we record conversations, that's why we have private numbers. What's that got to do with the price of bread? We have private numbers because we record calls. Someone needs to explain that one to me. Because under GDPR, you still have to, justify you recording the call, whether it's private or not. What, because it's got a phone number on it? You still have to put a note on the phone number, on the log. So just because it's not advertised doesn't mean it's not stored. So, come on, let's treat everyone like we're a bit intelligent, shall we, boys and girls? Thankfully, the last few days have been fairly quiet of screaming children. I don't mind the noise of children playing. It's the screaming one that gets me. You know how they don't talk? They sort of like... That really grates on me. It's been fairly well behaved around here for the last 2 or 3 days, which has helped, because my blood pressure was bad on Thursday. I think that'll do for now. If there's anything else, I'll add an addendum on to the end of this. But thank you for watching. Please send me your comments and advice about the campaign and that, and what do you think of the campaign. If there's anyone already running a campaign like that, then please let me know and I'll join forces with you. And I'll try and help you. Or you can give me advice and help me, whatever way you want to do it. Is Caspi still asleep? Caspi still asleep? I bet he hasn't moved, has he? Anyway, thank you for watching. That's my session over for today. I'm trying and get on with a few things. Goodbye for now, and speak to you again soon.